Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this is very for the women's portion of the tournament. It was day one. We got a lot to get through. First, going to give you guys a couple quick updates on the games that are currently happening. In the Mercado region, we got an 8-9 matchup. South Florida leads Washington State 38-31 with 7:18 left in the third. In the Alamo region, we have Stanford taking on 16C Utah Valley. It's going as expected. If you guys didn't know, this isn't like the men's, the top seeds are the top seeds. They don't really do all this backsliding stuff. There's a little bit of a gap. You take it as you will. It's currently 48-14 because the score just got updated. But that's where we are with the updated games. All right, let's get started in the Riverwalk region. Look, man, it's not gonna be as many highlights tonight because some of these things, we're a respectful group here. And some of these things, all things don't need to be shown over and over. So in the Riverwalk region, 5 seed Iowa, they took care of Central Michigan thanks to their popular law firm, Clark and Sedano. 23-7-7 for Caitlin Clark. You guys, quick thoughts on that?
Caitlin Clark, you just said it. She blitzed the by herself. I mean, it wasn't. They couldn't stop her, man. Look, she's a true freshman.
Yes.
23-7-7 in your first NCAA game. Come on, man. Nothing else. Yeah, we can continue. There ain't nothing else we can talk about. Come on, man.
All right. Nothing from you, Ray? Nope.
Nah, man. Michaela Kelly, man, she had some foul trouble in the first half, but she had 15 points at 8 minutes. I would love to see how that shook out if she got some more time. But yeah, like how they'll say, Caitlin Clark.
And in front court, Iowa's front court, thoroughly dominant.
Cesano,
it's 23-6 for Cesano and Warnock 13-10. And she didn't even shoot that well. Like I said, man, they ain't play games. They came and did what they were supposed to do. Central Michigan front court combined for 14 points.
Yeah. That would do it. Staying in the Riverwalk region, 7-seed Virginia Tech, they edged out 10-seed Marquette 70-63. Standing out in that one, Hokie center Elizabeth Kitley with 23 points and 8 rebounds. Any additional thoughts here, or keep it moving?
I like the fact that they won without Aisha Shepard going off. She had an off night, so that tells you it's more than just her. They're a dangerous team. And they won without shooting the three well. They shot the three well for most of the season. For them and that's what made the game kind of closer than what it probably could have been, should have been. Not shooting the three well and Aisha Shepard being off. I don't anticipate her being off. I know she's a senior experience. So that was good to know. That's good for them moving forward. If one of our stars struggle, we can still pull this out. So that's what I took from it. But yeah, it's the reason why they were the highest seed. They couldn't do nothing with Kitley at all.
Right.
Yeah, man. It was that was nice recognition from Tech. To realize that the three wasn't going and they had the advantage with Kitley down low. So they just fed her and let her do what she does, man. And when you got that luxury of having a solid fallback option like that, that's how you get far in this tournament. When one thing is not working for you, you can go to something else with confidence. So and that's what got the game for them. They didn't overcomplicate it. They saw what was happening down there, and they let that situation play out. You muted, dog.
You're muted.
I was saying I'm gonna stop doing this eventually, but Ryan Howard let 4-seeded Kentucky pass 13-seeded Idaho State. I'm sorry, 71-63. Idaho State got out to a fast start, but look, you got one of the handful of best players in the country. She's in that group. At some point, that's an advantage. Ryan Howard did Ryan Howard things. Literally filled up the stat sheet. And they use the second and third quarter to kind of create their separation on route to victory.
Yeah, man, those 2 middle quarters just did them in. Kentucky, they were just too big. Out rebounded them 45, 34, 16 offensive rebounds. As the lesser talented team, you can't, be dominated like that in that area and keep giving them extra chances and expect to win. That's just what it is, man. And like you said, Ryan Howard, she did her thing, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and that's all she wrote.
Honestly, I don't think Kentucky played well at all. They used their talent and athleticism and size to just overwhelm Idaho State. Think about it. Idaho State second quarter was held at 6 points, third quarter 7 points. You're not winning any tournament game with that, man. Ryan Howard, I know she led the team in scoring, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. She's a great college player. She found a way to impact the other game, but she was off. She ain't played her usual Ryan Howard game, so that's why you see the scores closer. Typically, they should have blew them out. One thing also I'm noticing, they turned the ball over crazy. Kentucky, they had 19 turnovers. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just, they didn't play well by any stretch. So they just lucky that their defense showed up and held Idaho State down. Because if it was against another, say, closer to their level team, maybe it's a team like in their conference or something like that, they would have lost. They did not play well at all offensively. So they're going to have to clean that up if they want to keep advancing.
All right, on to third seed Tennessee. They took on 14 seed Middle Tennessee. Tennessee State was tied at the half, but the Vols took over the second half behind Randa Davis. She had 24 points and 14 rebounds. Tennessee advanced 87-62.
Tennessee just too big, man. They bullied them, and it ain't really too much to get into. 56-21, 20 off on the boards, 20 offensive rebounds. If you get as much offensive rebounds as the other team get rebounds in total, you're going to win and win by a lot. It ain't no need to be long-winded about this.
Second half adjustments. Tennessee beat the hell out of them in the second half. It was a tie game at the half. They made an adjustment, and Middle Tennessee didn't get a clear look at the basket for the remainder of the game. They only scored 23 points in the second half. Tennessee scored 48. There you go. Simple as that. And the depth, and Tennessee still ain't play well. Their bench didn't play well. They got 3 points? No, my fault. 9 points off their bench. The 4 starters had scored in double figures, and Walker, point guard, she only had 9. So they just were more talented. That's what it was. Once they figured out what Middle Tennessee was trying to do, they calmed down, got the nerves out the way in the first half, and they played basketball. And they did what they should have did.
All right, moving on to Michigan. That game was tight for a little bit, but again, talent helps. Adjustments help. Leah Brown showed out. That Michigan needed every bit of her 28. Nas Hillman still Nas Hillman. But anytime other folks get involved, it's always a great thing. Big night for Leah Brown with 28. They beat Florida Gulf Coast. Nothing. All right, we're moving on.
Not too much. Leah Brown, man. It is what it is.
I'm gonna give it a couple seconds. If the screen stay the same, I'm gonna keep moving. I see no movement. Moving. All right. So we're good. I'm gonna tell you right now. This one we're not going. I already know I'm going to the next one. Number 2 seed Baylor. They did what Baylor does. All right. They were the first team to hit triple digits in this year's tournament. Beat Jackson State 101-52. Cool. Syracuse is 8-9 matchup in this region. Syracuse used a strong fourth quarter to take down South Dakota State 72-55. Emily Engsler with the double-double, 18 points, 12 rebounds.
Syracuse defense. You noticing a common theme with these blowouts. It seems like the higher seed they figure these teams out. They use their size and length. They start playing, and they suffocate the lower seeds, and they can run off with the win. I mean, 7 points in the fourth quarter. They held South Dakota State to 7 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was a game before that. It was literally a game before that, and they held on to 7 points. You can't get a bucket in a tournament in the fourth quarter, like to save your life. That's the game. I love seeing teams win off defense because people don't value both ends anymore. Syracuse to do that is exciting. I mean, shut them down from deep. They only South Dakota only shot 4 for 20. Forced 22 turnovers on South Dakota State. I mean, dang. That was just a defensive win. That's what that was, man. They played third. They execute, let them get busy for the first 3 quarters, fourth quarter. All right, we're gonna cut all this cute stuff out. It's time to play, and that's what they did. Got them up out of there, and they're gonna need to maintain that level of defense if they want to continue to move forward. But that was a hell of a performance, hell of a defensive performance. I was watching, I'm like, wow, they really ripping these girls apart. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a valiant effort by South Dakota State, even with their best player out. But, you know, like Cardell said, once Syracuse just anchored down, well, nothing they could do. And they forced 22 turnovers, had 14 blocks. Like that's deflating, man. Then started the fourth quarter in the 18-4 run. Like once that snowball started rolling downhill, I was like, yeah, it's a wrap.
Right,
5 plays in double figures, balanced scoring. They played a perfect game in the fourth quarter.
Continuing this theme of defense, leading you to wins. All right, Connecticut, 1 seed, they handled their business. They beat High Point 102-59. They're the second team to break triple digits today on the women's side. Again, we told you guys a couple nights ago it will get disrespectful with some of the higher seeds, you know, the 116 seeds. And on the women's side, like Cardell said, it's top heavy. Things don't get too interesting. You know, those top teams, they show up, they handle their business, and they move on. All right, now we're going to move over to the Alamo region. It's throwing me with all these different names they got. And with the men's, it's just Midwest, and it's throwing me. All right, AFC to Oklahoma State, 8-9 matchup against Wake Forest. They won 84-61. Big game from Natasha Mack, 27-15 boards.
Second quarter and the fourth quarter, they had 2 big runs. That's the game.
Man, that's on to the Mercado region. NC State playing the 16 seed in North Carolina A&T. Aggies, you know, it was close for a little bit, but you know, NC State, they woke up and the second half began, and you know, 79-58 win for the 1 seed in the Mercado region.
Good job, good effort.
All right, Hemisphere region. Here we go. 5th seeded Georgia Tech. They went down 17 to 12 seeded Stephen F. Austin. They forced overtime, Georgia Tech did. And then they had the lead. They were up by 2. And literally in the closing seconds, the Lady Jack, Stephen F. Austin, still had an opportunity to tie it. But the freshman big, she just couldn't get the shot to fall in time. And, you know, the Yellow Jackets survive and advance.
Offensively, they set basketball back 2 decades, but
hey, y'all are so rude.
Nah. I watched a little bit of the game on my phone. You could tell they were nervous because they took turns. It was weird. It was like they started off strong, but then it's like when the other team went on a run, the other team, it's like it got to them so quick. The lights got to them, and then they would regroup, and then they would go on a run. It was just a back and forth of runs, but no one could sustain it, which is why I went in overtime. And then it was just a matter of who would make the mistake first. And like you just said, homegirl missed a shot. I wouldn't even say they got beat. The other team just survived. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Georgia Tech survived because they not beating nobody else past this game. If they play like this again, it's a wrap. They going home. So they got a lot to clean up, man. Like look, Stephen F. Austin. Well, first Georgia Tech, they had 10 points in the first and then 7 in the second. That's nerves. But then Stephen F. Austin, 5 in the third, 9 in the fourth. Like, what's going on here? There was no consistency offensively either way for either team. So They got lucky. Let's call it what it is. But hey, they pulled out the win. You survive in advance, baby. That's the name of the game.
Facts. That was literally the epitome of survive in advance. All right, on to a team who did a little bit more than survive. South Carolina, 1 seed, did what they do.
Leah Boston.
Man, 79-53, monsters double-double from Leah Boston. Should be no surprise for anybody who watched South Carolina. No, it was very clear. I think Cardell and I were there for freshman year against Maryland. She let it be known just what she was about to be on this level, which is why this 2018 is Megan Rapinoe had it right. Light work, 2018, light work being mentioned, and I can't even say that the lady's lying. I can't.
Look, man, this was a Ann Wolfe knockout performance. If y'all watch boxing, y'all should know who Ann Wolfe is. I'm gonna leave it at that. But they dominated in every facet. I mean, Aaliyah Boston did. To me, she could have played better. Dawn just sat her down. You know what I'm saying? Look, South Carolina shot 21% from three. They ain't even hit threes, man. They out rebounded them 52-27. Like, you can't even get the ball in the score, dog. It's just, oh man! And South Carolina had 17 turnovers. So they, in some ways, they beat themselves in a couple areas and still beat y'all by damn near 30. They just on another level. It is what it is. We knew what that was going to be as soon as it. Unless somebody, the only way Mercer, with all due respect, only way Mercer could have won this game if a couple players got hurt and couldn't come back. That's it. And even then, it would have been a dogfight. South Carolina has WNBA talent. It's as simple as that. So, talent overwhelms you. It is what it is.
Ray, no.
Yeah, I mean, they had 21 points in the second half. It's self-explanatory.
All right. Another 8-9 matchup again. This is in the Hemisphere region. Oregon State took down Florida State 83-59. Aaliyah Goodman, she had 24-5 to lead her team to the next round. Then last but not least, we got West Virginia. They took on 13-seeded Lehigh, and they did what they were supposed to do. 77-53. Gundrezic, 26.7 rebounds, 5 assists. Yeah. And that was the easier name to pronounce than the first name. How about that?
Bro. West Virginia shot 53% from three.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ball game.
They ain't feel you at all, dog.
Unbothered.
54% from the field, 53% from deep, 81% from the line. That's game. Y'all can't guard us. Get y'all up out of here. Let's get some rest.
All right, real quick for y'all, a couple standout players for the day, and we get out of here and get ready for day 2 of the women's tournament.
Kitley for sure from Virginia Tech.
Absolutely.
And Tasha Mack, 27-15-4. And I'm gonna throw Aaliyah Boston in there too, man. You know how I feel about her, man. She did not want to pick whenever she decided to roll out. So I don't care who in that draft. She too dominant.
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, those definitely the three that stood out to me. Yeah, man. It's like on the women's side and the men's side, really. If you got a dominant inside force like that, other team gonna have a long day. Just plain and simple. Especially if they don't have nothing close to what you got. That's just a huge advantage.
All right. With that, we will close. We will close out this first episode. We'll see you guys tomorrow night because day 2 of the women's tournament. Maryland plays Mount St. Mary's tomorrow, so definitely be looking forward to that. And I'll be having a couple things for you guys in terms of some notes from the post game for that tomorrow night. But you guys have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night for. We should have men's and women's within the madness yet again. If you're still hanging with us tonight, we're not done. Got one more left. Got within the madness for the men's edition. See you guys in a little bit.